Still blows everyone's mind that this was a cover version. Natalie Imbruglia, the amazing Natalie Imbruglia, and Torn on Radio 2. There's a little bit more time. The song has stopped, so I should shut down my research page, because for doing 3 questions on Robert Burns, the poet, and it's Alastair asking me these questions. Alastair, why are we doing this? Why this subject?
I really enjoy Burns' poetry. I love the insight that he has, the emotion that comes through the poems, you know, the human condition. He was always in favour of the common man. He hated oppression or any other kind of badness towards people. So I love Burns, and I like the man himself. He has an interesting life. I like it so much, I've actually got a podcast called Burns Banter.
I love that.
Yeah, Burns Banter. It's the big thing about Burns is he wrote mainly in Scots, and the Scots he wrote in is now 250 years old, and it was a specific dialect, so a lot of people don't understand what he's saying. You know, even 95% of Scottish people don't understand what he's saying. You know.
So are you translating what he's saying on the podcast? Are you bringing it to a more common audience?
I'm trying to break down the barrier of the language, yeah. Basically, I read the original poem, I talk about how he wrote it and why he wrote it and where he wrote it, but I also give you a modern translation as well, so you've got an idea or even a chance of understanding what's being said, you know.
I love that. What a great idea for a podcast. I remember I did 1 year of an A-level in English, and we did Chaucer. And the whole thing about reading Chaucer at the time, because it was written in the Old English dialect, was you had to get your head into the right headspace of knowing what he was talking about. Famously rude as well was the Miller's Tale. Is it the same when you're reading Burns, or do you actually have to know the language?
Well, 50% of the poems he wrote was just in plain English. So, I mean, like My Love Is Like a Red, Red Rose was plain English, you know. But the 50% that's you know, recited at all the Burns suppers, like addressed to a haggis and all the rest of it, that's in Old Scots. And he actually wrote in a dialect called Lallans, which is hardly spoken anymore. So you have to get past that barrier before you get all the goodness of the poems, you know?
Yeah, it sounds like a great podcast. And I think this is going to be a fascinating Midnight Mastermind, because I know the name, I know some of the things he's done, but don't know a lot about him. So,
Midnight Mastermind.
Let's dive into this, Alastair. Radio 2 is all yours. So 3 questions on Robert Burns.
Okay, my first question to you, OG, is Robert Burns is credited with writing the second most sung song in the whole of the English-speaking world. I want to know what that song is, and I also want you to give me the direct translation of the title.
Oh, okay. So it's something that most of us would have sung just over a week ago, possibly slurring the words, because it would have been sung about 1 minute past midnight. How was your New Year's, by the way? Was it wild?
It wasn't wild, but it was excellent. I was up at a friend's house. We had a guitar. We had lots of food. Yes. We had people dancing and singing. But yes, it was good. I enjoy New Year. It's a time for people to get together and just have a good time. You know,
I've got to do a New Year's in Scotland at some point. I like the whole idea of the first footing. The song I'm talking about is Auld Lang Syne.
Correct.
What is the translation? So old must be old. Lang Syne. I have no idea. So it's old things forgotten. I'm going to guess that.
Well, the actual literal translation is old long since.
So
old long since, but it really means a song of times gone past, a song of people that we've no longer got. Possibly somebody had in your life many years ago, it's not there anymore, you're remembering them. It's a song of times in your past.
Gotcha. Well, you're in charge of the points. How many points did I get there?
I think I'm going to give you a half on that one.
I'll take it. I'll take the half point.
I'm going to give you a half. Yeah.
I'll take it. Right, let's go question 2.
Question 2. Robert Burns was well known for being a ladies' man. I mean, if Robert was alive today, he'd be a player, right? I mean, he really was a ladies' man, you know. So I'm going to have a very direct question to you. How many children did Robert Burns have in his lifetime?
So he didn't live long. He was only 37 when he died. So it was a very young life. So this is either a trick question and he had none, or he had loads. So I'm going to go for the loads. You said he was a player. I'm going to say he had 11 children.
You are incredibly close.
Okay, right? How many was it?
12.
No way! And he was only 37.
He was only 37. Yeah, he had 9 with his own wife.
Yeah.
A woman called Jean Armour, and he had 3 with 3 other women as well.
So nowadays, if he was still alive, he'd be called a player and he'd have a Channel 5 show. All of his own.
Yes, he would. Yeah, he would. Yeah, he was a real player. He got slagged for it at the time as well, but he was always he was very good to the children he had. He always made sure they were looked after, which was a big thing back then. 250 years ago, guys just walked away.
Yeah.
But he made sure the kids were looked after. He probably treated his children better than he treated the women in his life, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, probably. He was a player and he was a poet. That's what ladies love. Let's go. Final question.
Final question is, why do we celebrate Burns Night on the 25th of January? And did we always celebrate it on the 25th of January?
So the answer to that is no. The first time Burns Night was celebrated, it was in July, which was to celebrate, I think it was a couple of weeks after his death. It was the 5th anniversary of his death, which is why they did it in July. It was the 21st of July, 1801. It's done on the 25th of January, which is not that far away because that is his birthday. That was the day he was born.
I'm giving you full points on that one. That was completely correct. I didn't expect you to get that one, actually, because it's not a well-known fact that the people got together on his 5th anniversary, and it was the anniversary of his death. And they basically just got together because they missed having a good time with Robert.
You know? Wait, do you know, in some ways, though, they say you die twice, don't they? You die once when you leave and you go to the great after party in the sky, and then you die again when somebody doesn't say your name the last time somebody says your name. So
that's right, yeah.
I think the fact that they remember him and people remember people is a nice thing.
Well, that's true. Yeah, it was 10 guys got together, and they got together originally in his house, which was now a pub. And,
is it?
Well, it was at the time, yeah. A really bad pub, actually. But and they had haggis, and they spoke about the poems, and just had a great time. And other people heard about it, so more Burns suppers just started going. And that's 250 years later, we're still doing it, you know.
Alastair, I feel you've brought a touch of Radio 4 to Radio 2 this evening. Not only did we enjoy that, we're all smarter for it. Remind us the name of the podcast, because I'm absolutely going to check it out. It sounds brilliant.
The podcast is called Burns Banter. It's available on all podcast providers, but it's basically looking at the poems and making it easy to understand.
I love that. Thank you so much for staying up late, buddy. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we've got to play a song, I think, that fits it. So we've gone for...
Paperback.